What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So in this video, I want to talk about the episode that premiered last night of the HBO docuseries Winning Time: The Rise of the Showtime Lakers Dynasty. This was the ninth episode of season one. I'm pretty sure that this series is going to be renewed for a second season. It started off pretty slow as far as ratings is concerned, but it's picked up steam, and I believe it's a hit. But this particular episode focuses on transition. Uh, there, as usual, there are multiple storylines going on, and you see the departure of a few characters. Uh, One of them we knew was coming. The other one's somewhat of a surprise if you're not privy to history. But one character that departs the show is Jerry Buss's mother. I think her name is Jamie Buss. I think it is. Um, During the course of this episode, she progressively gets sicker and sicker from the metastatic bone cancer that's affecting her. Uh, you can see it in her appearance. The doctors tell Jerry Buss what's going on, you know what I'm saying, as far as it's inevitable that she's going to pass away. And one thing I noticed about Jerry Buss, the way that he's being portrayed on this show, am I the only one that kind of sees him like the way that he's portrayed? Am I the only one that sees a Tony Soprano type influence with him? I mean, he's almost like Tony without being a sociopath. He's basically Tony if he had a healthier relationship with his mother and if he wasn't a sociopath. Basically, that's I see a lot of that in the way the character of Jerry Buss is being portrayed so far in this show. But eventually she dies. She suffers a massive hemorrhagic stroke, and she's put on a life support, and there's no hope of recovery. And he was very, very close to his mother. Very, very close to his mother. And it devastates him. And it comes at a time when he should be enthralled because his team is succeeding so much, but personally, he's at a low. Another character that departs the show is Spencer Haywood. Spencer Haywood did factually play for the Lakers during the 1979-80 season. Spencer Haywood definitely had issues with drug use. Now, in this universe, Spencer Haywood was clean, but begins to have problems with drug abuse yet again. And it's affecting the team. And ultimately, they vote him off the team. Not the coaches, but the players. And the one player that Spencer Haywood relates to, the one player that he looks upon as his brother, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, is the one guy that votes him off the team. And the episode ends with Spencer Haywood in a dark place with a sinister motive. You know, just to go show you his mindset at that particular time. Not really good. Another character that departs ultimately is Jack McKinney. Now, Jack McKinney, of course, was the architect of Showtime, and he was a great basketball mind. But as this episode is showing, he is either not quite ready to return to the rigors of coaching, or he may never be the same. Um, he forgets things. He forgets where he lives. Um, he has moments where he doesn't recognize people. Um, He tries to hide it, but ultimately it shows. He has panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and he's pushing hard to come back, but he's not quite ready. And Jerry Buss at the time in this particular episode, he has this agonizing decision as to who should he have coached the playoffs. Should it be the man who was the architect of what has led to your success, or should you stick with the guys that have held the reins for prolonged success? Me personally, if I was in Jerry Buss's position, I believe in the mantra, you don't swap horses midstream, which means I would have stayed with what was winning, which is Jack McKinney and Pat Riley. And the players have been responding to them. Now you want to change and go with McKinney, who, albeit is a great basketball mind, the players don't react to him very well because he's a goddamn Napoleon or want to be dictated. You know, Jerry West is in this episode as well. But ultimately, like I'm saying, they side with West and Paul and Pat Riley, which we knew we were going to do anyway because that's what they did historically. Another good episode. Trying to think of some side things that were going on as well. The Lakers' fortunes, as far as financially, look to be going upward. Uh, one little complaint I have about this episode, a couple complaints now I think about it. They have highly fictionalized Jenny Buss's role with the team at that time. She really didn't have a role with that team at that time. I think they're doing it for, PC purposes. And I'm gonna tell you another thing too about this episode. Look, this show is not for kids. Okay, this show is not for kids to watch. It's just not. I mean, damn. Look, I'm watching a scene where they're in the locker room. I don't want to see that. Okay, HBO, please. I don't want to see that. Now I don't mind seeing Magic with the tits and ass, but I don't want to see no flopping in my face. You know what I'm saying? When I'm watching television, looking at the show. I ain't watch. Look, don't show them HBO. Come on. Come on now. But anyway, other than that split second, this was a great episode. And I like this show, man. I look forward to it every Sunday. Tell me what you guys think.